Welcome back to a little update video today. We will look at the question, was that the bottom for AMC yesterday? And especially if this was the bottom, how much time would it take to the big run? Then we do a little update on GameStop because there was a quite significant move yesterday. Then we do a little update on BYND because of the same move yesterday for DJT. We will also take a look at DJT. And then we will update a tiny section of Above and Beyond. And at the end, one community wish. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal Method. I will put the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the Fractal Method on my channel. Just one thing, because I got the question, can you look at FFAI, for example, again? There wasn't really movement. I'm just saying, for all our stocks I present from my side on this channel, I'm looking at them at least once a day. So only because I'm not presenting them in any video, it doesn't mean that I'm not tracking them anymore. But especially for this reason, I made this homepage down here. And I mean this one. Yeah? That was the main purpose of this homepage, because if I'm not showing a ticker on a video, you can just go on this homepage, and especially if you press here, latest fractal updates, for example, you will see MIF date when I changed it, and I will upload here all my trackings, even if I'm not showing them, because I'm always looking for my videos in our stocks if something changed tracking or is updating or something else. It doesn't make really sense if I show a ticker which is just doing nothing. Yeah, and if I would show every ticker we are looking and tracking, every video, these videos would be 2 to 3 hours long, and that would mean for me 6 to 4 hours work, because I'm doing them in English and German, and that's too much time right now for me. I can't do that for every video. So again, if I'm not showing something but you want information, go on the website, press latest fractal update. You can look at it, or look at our fractal track stocks. You have everything here. And for example, if you click at, let's say, AMC, yeah, you have all our most important pictures here. And especially, you also have them with text under it too. Yeah, and for the latest fractal updates, for example, you can switch between German and English. Yeah, and many other things if you are interested on this website. Okay, so much for this. Well, then let's jump into AMC. And for AMC, as always, for the big update, how the squeeze could look like, 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, price targets, and. I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today, we're not looking only what we did yesterday. We will also start with looking how long every bottom took us before we close. Only because I got the question, if this was the bottom yesterday, how much time I would think will take till the run. I'm always saying I hate to give prediction for that, because in my opinion, therefore there are other content creators which are way better than me, which will tell you 100% January, 100% February, 100% March, 100% April, and if not 100,000% May. And if it's not happening, moving the goalpost every time. Yeah, I started this channel to not to do that. Yeah, I'm waiting for landmarks. For me, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Yeah, also, I'm quite never buying at the V. It makes no sense for me. I showed so many stocks on this channel in the last 280 videos. We never squoze from the V. Not one single thing. We did always a higher low, and if we didn't do a higher low, we did an A. Yeah. So, and I also, my personal opinion, no financial advice, think we won't squeeze from this V. Could be wrong. Yeah. But well, so now for the timing. We have on the left side, January 2021. We have in the middle, April 2024. And on the right side, we have April 2025. In January 2021, it took us 9 to 10 days from the bottom to the first squeeze candles. In 2024, it took us from the bottom to the first candles of the squeeze. It took us 24 days. In 2025, it took us from the bottom to the first candles of the squeeze 47 days. So now we could say, well, okay, so there is a pattern here and it gets longer and longer and longer. So if the last one in 2025 took us 47 days, this might take us 60 to 80 days. Yeah, but the thing is, especially April 2024 and April 2025 are different to 2021. What I mean with this, 2024 and 2025 were the start of the ending of this whole fractal. So I don't think we can compare these two to 2021. Because that's also the reason why I'm not tracking May. Yeah, for me, this isn't May here. I'm tracking the fractal of 2021. Why? Because this whole thing, yeah, ended in January the 4th, 2021, ended the previous fractal and started the new one. And I'm still the opinion right now, we are at the end of the second fractal. That means a new fractal, whenever we are finished down here, is starting. This would be fractal 3 then. Yeah? So it makes for me no sense to track May of 2024, 2025, because this would also mean we are not finished yet. I mean, there is an alternative. If we do something similar to 2024 and 2025, I tell you, your maximum price target is around $9. You won't break the high of 2024. You won't break over this trend line. In that case, you will come up and you will do new all-time lows. If this wouldn't be the end of the fractal, but if AMC is surviving, that is the question. Not thinking that, but that would be the only way to say, okay, 2024 was 20-ish days, 2025, 47-ish days, so now we need 60 days. Yeah. As an alternative. Okay. Also to say it, most people are comparing this. We didn't got our squeeze in January, February this year. Yeah. So let's look at every April, March, April, May we did since 2021. Yeah. In 2025, our bottom was April 4. In 2024, our bottom was April 16. And most people are only comparing these two, but you can go further. In 2023, our bottom was April 3rd. In 2022, our bottom was May 12th. And in 2021, our bottom was March 20th. So yeah, there is a pattern that every time you get March, April, May a bottom. And every time you did a higher low and then a run. Higher low, run. Higher low, run. Higher low, run. Higher low, run. So much for we are squeezing from the V. AMC just never did this, but okay. If we are not just squeezing from here, after higher low, A, and so on. The only alternative, if we're not going bankrupt, the only alternative I would have is that we are right now here, yeah, March 2020, and we're doing this. And I say this, we're doing this in the next 2 years. Because if we just here, I tell you, this shit at least takes 2 years. But, and that's the next thing, even if we are only doing this, yeah, you have to think about it that this peak here, this is our T. This peak here is this one, yeah, in my personal opinion. So even if we only here, yeah, you should still get at least, here's a gap, 40 to 75, at least, yeah, still, yeah. Otherwise, in my opinion, this section here, we already have done. This section here is for me, this section here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I agree. But that's also the reason why you don't use just bar patterns for fractal method. Like so many people are doing it, and like so many people are wrong because of that. And that's also why so many people have a bad opinion about fractal method. But for me, fractal method is not just a bars pattern. Some stocks you can easily do it one-to-one, yeah, but not all of them, yeah. So let's see. So now look what we have done yesterday, and we had a really good start yesterday. I really have to say that this was also the reason why I made the post, because we just knifed yesterday. This beautiful knife. Yeah? And then we got a nice bounce. It's not a double bottom. Yeah? And we bounced. Sadly, the good part ended exactly there. And that's the shitty part. Yeah? Because we got a nice knife, nice bounce. But then we did this shit again. Yeah. So, you know, my main problem right now with this thing is this section here looks the same like this section here, triple top, lower high. The same like kinda this section here. So yeah, I already showed that in the last video. This here, yeah. Left side now, 2024, 2025. We want a V. We want no double button and a knife to the button. Okay, check. Yeah. But after that, we want a fucking V. Yeah. I mean, in the best positive way. If we zoom into 2025, yeah, you see we got a fucking knife. We bounced with no double button, and then we did this little section here. Yeah. In the best positive way I can say, I would say, okay, yeah, this would be this little section. Yeah. But for this to be true, yeah, you're going maybe sideways today, but latest Monday, I want to see a candle to the upside, like in 2025. And a candle to the upside for me means we have to break 117 on Monday. Otherwise, this isn't the bottom. Yeah. Sadly, yeah, I know I was very disappointed yesterday because I'm getting bored too, really. I'm not saying that to say, not the bottom. I don't care if I 100% correct time the bottom. I don't care, yeah. Other people can fight that on Twitter and YouTube. I was right, I don't care, yeah. I just get bored of this shit right now, yeah. So for me, I'm tending to this wasn't the bottom, yeah. I would think there's a high probability that we still finding the bottom today or next week. Also, because of the question, can we break $1? Yesterday we bounced exactly at $1. I always said I'm not thinking that we break $1. Yeah. But down here there is nothing. No resistance lines, support lines, nothing. Yeah. So I wouldn't like it, but to say this, if this wasn't the bottom, we will break $1. I still don't think that this price predictions of some people with a $2 million system, and the system is quite of glitchy because it is always wrong and it can be manipulated by BlackRock. I mean, you maybe know who I mean. This price projection of 50 cents or 40 cents, I don't think that. But 90 to 80, if this wasn't the bottom, I think we hopefully getting now a real nice knife and a real V out of it. For confirmation to the upside, the only confirmation is we need a higher low or we need the A. So confirmation for this being the bottom, for me personally, you have at least to break over 117. Yeah. Or let's say at least 111. Yeah. But this triple top shit, this is again this algorithmic shit play here. This isn't looking like a V. But let's see what we get today. Okay. Next one is GameStop. So for GameStop, also for the big update video with how would the squeeze look like, price targets, blah blah blah. I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today we just look what we have done in the last week. So let's zoom in. And sadly, I have to say, for my opinion, GameStop gave me a confirmation yesterday. But I will show still the bullish and the bearish one. For the bullish version, I would say it gets very, very difficult to draw it. Main problem is this. Okay, doesn't matter. For the bullish tracking, this is your V in November. This is your higher low. This is already your breakout and your A, your little A. And you're right now still in the A pullback. You have two possibilities here. You bounce here now. Go up to your big A and do your last 0.5, 0.618 pullback before you squeeze. Also here, at the same time, AMC and GME will synchronize again and will go. Because if the question is coming, can AMC and GME go different directions? Yeah, in front of the squeeze, they are not synchronized. Yeah, they are synchronized in the run. Yeah? Or the last bullish alternative is you still need a pullback to the 618. That would mean you have to pull back to 21.84-ish and bounce here, and then you go to your A. Yeah? That's the bullish version. The bearish version is this here. And that only means one thing. November was still our V, but this whole thing is just our higher low. What higher low? The higher low since 2024. Yeah? For this, I think, in my personal opinion, we got confirmation yesterday. Why? Because I already showed in the last videos, I think in the last weeks, my level not to break was 2280. And yesterday we broke it. Yeah. For me, I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah. I try not to get a tunnel view and to look at every possible way to track it. But for me, this was our top in February for our high low. And our last peak in March 10, 2026 was just our midpoint. This M started here in February 23 and was finished yesterday. So we might go a little bit lower or we go up to our T. That doesn't matter. But my main point is, if this is our C of our higher low, then this is our B and this here is our A. That means, you know, higher low is always ending in a V under A, and our V under A, our A bottom is here. $20.94. Yeah. The 786 FIB is at 2082, but this really doesn't matter because we know where our A is. And in my opinion, GME will go down here. $20.48. Next week is earnings. Whatever news they do. I still think GameStop is doing this. That's also the reason why I don't see a really good, for next week, I see no chance for a squeeze, no financial advice, but also for the first week of April, it's because this, if you're not just knife on earnings, this will take time. And AMC is not squeezing without GME. Yeah. Again, if you break $25 to the upside, this version is dead. Forget what I said. If you break $25 to the upside, yippee, we go up. Also, for levels to the downside, again, if you touch 1960, then the version everyone is talking about, GME has to go to 17, 18, 15 or something like that. Yeah. If you break or touch $19.60, there is no other alternative. You will go to 19, 18, 17, 15. You will go there. Doesn't matter if it's only a 1 second wick. If you touch or break 1960, you will go down there. Yeah. There is no sugarcoating or some stupid shit. It's just if you break levels, important levels, we can only track this one. But I'm not thinking that yet. Yeah, this still looks perfect. Yeah, the only question is, do we doing higher, low, or A? And the only answer to this is if you go up from today or next week and break 2025, I am a stupid guy, and we go up. If not, we will see us at $20.49. Okay, so much for GameStop. Next one is BYND. And for BYND also, for the big update video, how the next squeeze can look like, and so on and so on, I will link the big update video at the end of the video. We will just update this video today because there were some changes in which versions we could play. First of all, for me personally, the target for our A between $15 and $25 in mid-April, end of April still stands. But one thing, because we start with the bullish version, not the bearish one. In the last video and in the big update video, we had the tracking like this, and this was still A. That means V, higher, low, A, breakout, retest. With this break to the downside, this version is dead. Yeah, there's no if then that. No, this version is dead because A is never pulling back or touching the 786. Can't be, that's fact. So this can't be A anymore. This can only be higher low. So is this higher low finished? Yeah, and then we can look closer. And the thing is, technically, everything is finished. First of all, as always, we're taking from the bottom to the peak. Our fib, we are under the 786. First technical rule is fixed, is checked. Second one, higher low is always ending in a V under A. Our higher low is this here. Our A is this here, and somewhere in here is our B. That also means that this is our A bottom. And if you look, we are under it. So for the bullish version, this higher low is finished. And if we even look closer, we already did a micro higher low. If this is holding, and this would be also finished. So in the most bullish way, today or next week, we start with our run to the upside. Just saying, even if we start this run to the upside, my target for the peak is still April 12th to 23. No financial advice, don't buy weeklies. Just saying. For the upside, still the same levels are counting. Means 84 cents, very bullish. 89 cents to the upside if you break that. And every bearish alternative is off the table, in my opinion. So if we not breaking here to the upside and still going down, I always said and showed we still have this little fucking shitty whatever gap open between 66 cents and 65 cents. Yeah, there is still the possibility we fill the shitty gap. Only problem with this is this can be stressful. Why? Because we are not fucking allowed to break or touch 64 cents 59. We are not allowed to touch or break this line. Because if we touch or break this line, this here isn't high or low. This here is T. And this here is M. And then you will go down. The only question in that case is, are we holding all-time low or not? Yeah. I'm not thinking that yet, but again, we have our levels. And for this, if you touch or break 64 cents, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. Not thinking that that still looks perfect. And especially if we look at the market, I think yesterday or today, Friday, everything will get its bottom. Why? Because just little side trail. If we go to VIX, yeah, if you don't know what VIX is the volatility index, yeah, and in short and very easy explanation, VIX bullish and up means marked bearish and down. VIX bearish and down means marked bullish and up. Yeah, and if we only look at August 2024 till today, then we have here our peak with our C. In April 2025 was our lower high. And if we now looking just at this section here, yeah, and this L is our C, our top, then we have here our midpoint and here our last time to sell. And it was very, very critical here on March 9th. Because if you look, if VIX would have gone up only $1, yeah, this would be very bullish for VIX. And I tell you, we were $1 away from market crash. Because if VIX would have gone through here, oh baby, market crash. But we stopped here. And right now we're doing lower highs. So there's a very good chance that this was T. Means our T started here. And that means our L, this L, started here. So next target for VIX is under 12.72. And that only means a fucking market rally. If this is right, we're getting a fucking market rally. Yeah, till summer-ish. Yeah, then we will go up to our M again. That's market crash territory again. Yeah, but doesn't matter. Market looks like it could reversal from next week on. So if market is, I'm not saying this is the catalyst for beyond. Yeah, but if you want any bullish fundamentally narrative, I would say here you have it. Bullish market from next week on means everything shoots up. Maybe. But even without that, beyond still looks bullish. Just don't touch 64 cents. Then everything is okay. Good. Next one is DJT. So for DJT, also for the big update, I will link again the big update video at the end. Today we will just look what we have done this week. Also, nothing changed on this fractal. Only shitty part is that I didn't bought puts. Yeah. I mean, okay. It was bad here because this would have been the perfect high or low. Problem is we broke it here, and I said already here with this break in on March 13, this will go down. Yeah, with the break of this high or low, this is little t and will break down. The only stupid thing is I also said this is a perfect head and shoulders, and you take from the top to the bottom line a line, and this is your target for your absolutely deepest point. And oh man. I mean, in 1 or 2 days, we just knifed that. This would have been such a nice put play, and I didn't play it. Thing is, did we find the bottom here? Yeah, and the same like AMC, I can't tell. Yeah, we have to wait for the confirmation. Higher low, holding and going up. Okay. If not, we still have some plays left. 8 for 38. Still 30 cents down. It would be possible. There are no resistance line down here, no EMAs, nothing, because new all-time low. Yeah. DJT still looks okay. I don't think it will go bankrupt. Yeah? And I still think we are at the end of our first fractal. I still the opinion we're getting big moves. But here is the perfect example. If you're breaking levels to the downside, you shouldn't break for the bullish tracking, like BYND. Play it or don't play it, but be prepared for it. Yeah. Here is just a perfect example. I said, don't break this level or you will go down. Yeah. But whenever this is finished, we are doing our higher low, and then still I see massive upside for DJT. Yeah. Fractal is still working. Sadly, it takes long. Okay. Next one is Bad Bath & Beyond. For Bad Bath & Beyond, just watch the video from yesterday for the full update. And yeah, I know, I think the timestamps were a little bit off. I will fix that today before I upload this video. I didn't saw that. I said yesterday for the bullish tracking, or yesterday, the last video of Wednesday, that this higher low, the last higher low before we get our big moves, and big moves means A pullback, B pullback, or like 2020 just up. This higher low looks like it is finished because of two things. First of all, we are under the 786, perfect, and we also under A. So this is finished. But I said on Wednesday, there's a big possibility we need a micro higher low. I said this, I think it was here. Yeah. Or here. Here. Yeah, something like that. And we did this micro higher low. Yeah. As in the best case, yeah. From here to here, we are under the 786. So micro highest low is finished. So from here on, I have to say, we can go up every day. Yeah. If we're not doing it today or next week, I mean, we don't have a lot of plays left. Yeah. First 2 weeks of April, if we're doing stupid high lows after high lows after high lows. But otherwise, I would say upside. For levels to the upside, everything over 760 is bullish, everything over 960, and there is no alternative to the downside for me personally anymore. You could still break to the downside. Yeah, there's no rule where you can say you are not allowed to go down here, but you're not allowed to touch or break 350. Same as DJT, same as BYND. If you touch 350 for BYND, for Bad Bath & Beyond, you will go down. Doesn't matter how good the news is. It doesn't matter. That means this peak was T, and you will go down. Yeah? That's a fixed level. Don't touch 350 or hell is coming. Okay. And one last thing, the community wish. So, VNA. Yeah. I think it was a German wish. I don't know anymore. I started with the bearish checking just because I started with the Polish version in the German video. But I have to say, I'm tending bearish to this. Yeah. Top was September 2020, then lower high. And in this case, in the bearish version, this peak in September 2024 was our M. This M isn't finished because this midpoint started here. That means you have to go lower than 1532, will come up again to your last time to sell, and then you go even lower. This is a housing company or something like that. So yeah, that goes into the theory we're getting a housing market crash again. Yeah. Just saying why. The only thing to make this bullish would be that we throw our M here and our T here. Yeah. In that case, this here was our A. And right now we would be in the A pullback. First of all, this was our tiny higher low. Yeah. Second, you have two ways. You bounce here and go up to your B. Or you still fall, but you're not touching the 786. In that case, as long as you not touch $18, this can still be A. If you touch $18, you're going the bearish route. The only problem I have with this version here is you have a big T, but you have a tiny M, and you have a massive A. Normally, it just isn't looking right. I still think that this is the main version. Yeah. Whatever happens to the housing market. Yeah. And the thing is, that's the daily. Yeah. This could take some time. Yeah. So I won't think that we just knife down here. Yeah. But you could still go up here. Yeah. So for levels to the upside, if you break 30, forget that the bearish alternative. Yeah. But this looks bearish. Only my opinion. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't that long today. Okay. As always, I put the explanation video here, playlist here. The big update videos for AMC, GME, BYND, and DJT I put back here. As always, if you liked it, you can leave a like. If you want to see more, give me an abo. And let's see what we get today. I wish you a nice day.